Clem Burke, a legendary drummer and the heartbeat of Blondie, was born Clement Anthony Burke on November 24, 1954, in Bayonne, New Jersey, a working-class city just across the Hudson from New York. Growing up in a musically inclined family, his father was a drummer who played in local bands. Clem's love for rhythm was sparked early. By the time he was a kid, he was banging on pots and pans, mimicking the beats of the Four Seasons and the Beatles that echoed through his home. His passion grew as he joined the St. Andrew Bridgemen Drum and Bugle Corps, where he honed his skills in precision and flair, setting the stage for the dynamic performer he'd become. Clem Burke's musical journey began taking shape in the late 1960s and early 1970s while he was a student at Bayonne High School in New Jersey. Even in his teenage years, Clem stood out. His mop-top haircut, kinetic stage presence, and unwavering drive made it clear he was destined for more than just local recognition. He co-founded cover bands like Total Environment and the Sweet Willie Jam Band, performing at high school dances and clubs throughout the Garden State. These early bands gave him the chance to sharpen his chops and learn the ins and outs of live performance, all while feeding his dream of becoming a professional musician. Clem wasn't content just to keep the beat. Influenced by legendary drummers like The Who's Keith Moon, studio session master Hal Blaine, and R&B pioneer Earl Palmer, he developed a dynamic style that fused explosive power with musical precision. Clem wanted to be more than a timekeeper. He aimed to shape the sound and energy of every song he played on. As he approached his final year of high school, his ambition was clear. He wasn't staying in Bayonne. He had his eyes on something bigger. That next step came in 1975, when Clem was 20 years old. Scanning the classified ads in New York City's Village Voice, he came across a posting that called for a drummer with freak energy, a cryptic but intriguing invitation. Intrigued and confident in his ability to bring something fresh and bold to the table, Clem responded to the ad. The band looking for a drummer turned out to be none other than Blondie, a then-unknown group led by singer Debbie Harry and guitarist Chris Stein. That meeting would not only change Clem's life, but also play a role in shaping the future of punk and new wave music. Once he joined Blondie, Clem quickly established himself as a core component of the band's sound. In 1976, he recorded on their self-titled debut album, bringing a raw, punk-infused drive to standout tracks like Ex-Offender. His drumming, punchy, inventive, and always on the edge, helped Blondie rise above the noise of New York's burgeoning punk scene, centered around clubs like CBGB and Max's Kansas City. By the time the band released their second album, Plastic Letters, in 1977, Clem's role was undeniable. His powerful rhythms and energetic fills added momentum to songs like Dennis, which became an international hit. The album's success in the UK and other overseas markets helped Blondie gain global traction, and Clem's drumming drew comparisons to Keith Moon's signature style, wild yet controlled, chaotic but always musical. From his roots in Bayonne to the stages of the world, Clem Burke had officially arrived. His explosive style, combined with an ear for songcraft and performance, made him not just a drummer, but a driving creative force behind Blondie's rise. The breakthrough came in 1978 with Parallel Lines. Clem's drumming on Heart of Glass fused disco grooves with a krautrock-inspired pulse, helping the song top the Billboard Hot 100. Averaging a whirlwind pace across 12 tracks, he laid down iconic beats on One Way or Another and Hanging on the Telephone, driving Blondie to global fame. At just 24, he was named to Rolling Stone's list of top drummers, a nod to his versatility and power. The album went platinum, and Clem's tireless work ethic, rehearsing for hours and gigging relentlessly, cemented his role as Blondie's backbone. In 1979, Clem's senior moment with Blondie arrived with Eat to the Beat. Averaging a blistering tempo, he unleashed thunderous fills on Dreaming and Atomic, the latter a masterclass in cymbal crashes and dynamic shifts. The album hit #1 in the UK, and Clem's adaptability shone on 1980s Auto-American, where he tackled reggae on The Tide is High and hip-hop beats on Rapture, both chart toppers. By 1982, Blondie had sold millions, but internal tensions led to a breakup. Clem, a self-proclaimed rock and roll survivalist, didn't slow down, diving into session work with icons like Iggy Pop, Bob Dylan, and Pete Townsend. When Blondie went on hiatus, Clem's career exploded. In 1987, he briefly joined the Ramones as Elvis Ramone, playing 2 shows with his trademark ferocity. He drummed for Eurythmics on their 1986 tour, adding punch to Sweet Dreams, and backed Joan Jett and the Go-Go's Kathy Valentine on various projects. His resume grew with stints in Checkered Past, The Romantics, and Dramarama, averaging a dizzying pace of gigs and recordings. In 1997, Blondie reunited, and Clem returned with No Exit, co-writing Boom Boom in the Zoom Zoom Room. The album's success, hitting the UK top 5, proved his beat still resonated. The 2000s saw Clem's legacy solidify. In 2006, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with Blondie, a crowning achievement for the Bayonne kid who'd made it big. He played on 2011's Panic of Girls and 2017's Pollinator, blending punk roots with modern vibes on tracks like Fun. Offstage, he launched the Clem Burke drumming project in 2008, earning an honorary doctorate from the University of Gloucestershire in 2011 for studying drumming's physical and mental benefits, research that likened his stamina to elite athletes. His side bands, like the Empty Hearts and International Swingers, kept him busy, averaging dozens of shows yearly. Clem's final chapter with Blondie unfolded in the 2020s. He toured Europe in 2022 with Johnny Marr as a special guest, rocking Glastonbury's Pyramid stage in 2023. His last performance came on June 19, 2024, at Belfast's Belsonic Festival, where he powered through classics in his signature CBGB t-shirt. In a 2024 interview with Psychedelic Baby Mag, he revealed a new Blondie album was set for 2025 and his memoir, Nearing Completion, would be published by Hachette and HarperCollins. But behind his tireless drive, Clem was privately battling cancer, a fight he kept from the public until his passing. On April 6, 2025, Clem Burke died at age 70, succumbing to cancer after a private struggle, as confirmed by Blondie's statement the next day. Debbie Harry and Chris Stein mourned him as the heartbeat of Blondie, noting his unmatched talent, energy, and passion. The specific type of cancer wasn't disclosed, reflecting Clem's desire for privacy even in his final days. His death shocked fans and peers. Nancy Sinatra called him an icon and friend, as he'd shown no signs of slowing down, drumming with the same vigor that defined his 5-decade career. Standing at 5 feet 11 inches with a wiry frame, Clem's game was all about power and precision. His left-handed style on a right-handed kit, a la Ringo Starr, added flair to his fills, while his influences, Moon, Blaine, Palmer, fueled a versatility that spanned punk, disco, reggae, and beyond. Comparisons to Neil Peart and John Bonham underscored his stamina and impact. As of April 7, 2025, the music world reels from his loss, but his legacy, 11 Blondie albums, countless collaborations, and a beat that shaped generations, lives on. Clem's journey, from Bayonne's cover bands to punk's pantheon, is a story of grit, groove, and unrelenting spirit. He died of cancer, a battle he fought silently while still giving his all to the music he loved. That wraps up our deep dive into Clem Burke's incredible life from Star Hub. From New Jersey dives to global stages, he was the pulse of Blondie and a rock legend. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more music stories. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.